Hello everybody and welcome back to the Survival Let's Play series. We are back here in the wild western town, and if you haven't seen the previous video where I built this nice little jailhouse, definitely go check that out. It was a very fun one to build, and I really enjoyed making that video and putting together that little duel that Captain Palms and I had there at the end. But today we're going to continue work here in the village, and the plan is to get quite a bit done in this episode. Now, this may not be how I go from now on, but in this one for sure, there will be more than just one singular building that is being done. I plan on really taking the next step here in the town and getting it closer to the product that I'm hoping to make it. So, without further ado, let me show you kind of what we have going on here. So, as you can see, I've got some signs scattered and some random blocks around here. That is because I've been doing some planning as well as some terraforming in this area here. So we're going to be putting in a couple of builds. I think I'm going to start with this one, and I believe I'm going to do a general store. And you know, funny enough, my reference that I'm going to be using is none other than Cracker Barrel. That's right. I'll have that up on the screen for you, but Cracker Barrel is based on a Western style building, and it's kind of, you know, they brand it as a store or a convenience store or something of that nature. So I figured why not use that as my reference, since it's probably going to be close to whatever the reference I was going to use was anyway. So that's going to go right here, and then the path is going to go through here, and there's a very specific reason I'm putting the building right there and the path over here, because I need this space open, and that's for something that you guys will see in a coming video. I don't know how soon I will get to that, but regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and start building this general store, and it's not gonna be huge. It's gonna be kind of long, but not very deep. I may have to add some more sand over here, but that will be a-okay. But without further ado, let me get to building, and I honestly might come back whenever this thing, at least the exterior, is completely done. So I will see you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have the shell of the general store all put together. So without further ado, let's reveal what we've got so far. Here's what we've got. I honestly really like it. I went with a darker look. And one thing I will note, just whenever you look at the whole town shaping up as, you know, as a whole, I'm going with different wood types for each building, and obviously I'm going to run out of the wood types I'm willing to use here pretty soon. But, whoa, did not mean to fly. But I really like the contrast, and you know, I should probably put lantern somewhere. One on each window will do. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this. I think it, you know, obviously need to detail the back and the sides. I might actually not do a window, just so I have more wall space to put different items and whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and sleep, get to work either finishing this thing up interior wise or working on some of the other projects around the corner. So I will I'll catch you guys whenever I have a bit more of a plan in place. Alrighty folks, well, we are back. It is the next day, and yeah, this is kind of where we left off yesterday. Got the shell of the general store all up and running. And instead of going ahead and finishing that, I will most likely circle back and get a lot of the details done later on. But since I have quite a few more projects I'm hoping to get done, just enhancing the area overall, I kind of want to get all of the bulkiness of the work done first, so then I can come back in detail and really put all my effort into detailing all at once. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably cut in a little bit of a path going up there, and then the path along down to where planning on putting some sort of a dock area around. I thought it could be cool to turn this into somewhat of a port. Now, let me get my wings in. Does this river connect all the way up to the ocean? I cannot remember if it does, and yes, it should. So I think it would be kind of cool to use this little shoreline as a little bit of a. Oh, I'm gonna waste all those rockets. But as a little bit of a port, this is where all the ships come in, bringing in supplies and whatnot. So having a little dock, planning on doing like a fishing hut up here on this little elevated with a dock hanging off, and some markets and shops around the port area. So that's kind of what I want to take this area and turn it into. So then it's not just streets with buildings on either side. We've got some terrain, and it incorporates the water, and then I can always put buildings over here, next to the path. And then obviously I'm going to have buildings up on this level as well. And I have some plans already. As you can see, there's a sign there. I'm going to do some sort of horse stable or whatnot, and I'm not exactly sure if it's going to go there or not. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get to work on cutting this path in, and then I may come in with some updates, but I at least want to get part of this area lined out and potentially even built. So I'll see you guys here in a few minutes and show you guys what I have done. All right, folks, I've been at it for about an hour now since the last update, and I've got quite a bit of progress. I put in a little bit more of the path and then an additional building. So let's go ahead and take a look. And I'm seeing a bat in the background. I did not expect to see that, but alrighty. So everything is starting to pretty well start to take shape, and I'm really loving how it's turning out. So obviously we have the main, what you guys are used to. Now we have expanded over this way, and here we have our fishing hut. Now this is a pretty crucial piece, and while it isn't anything too fancy, I really do enjoy the build. For a simple build, I tried to use techniques, and it's proving to be difficult with such limited material palettes that I'm giving myself. I really don't want to use much stone, if any, so I want it to be pretty well wooden for the most part, and I'm pretty impressed with myself. Don't judge, but I'm impressed with the way I've been able to vary it to where it doesn't feel monotonous over, whenever I cross over between buildings. So just different build techniques and using different wood, like I use the acacia logs to give that weathered wood look, and I really like it. So let me jump off the back here and give you kind of a look at what we've got going back here. And this is just the start. I am going to be adding some things to this. I believe I'm going to have a step down off the front here, and then that will be the beginning of the dock going across, and it'll be a lower level. I don't know if I'm going to come off the front or if I'm just going to go off the side there. That is still to be determined, but regardless, this is a pretty good start, and I'm going to continue working on it quite a bit. So I do think that's where I'm going to quit playing for the evening. It is not too late, but to be completely honest, it is turkey hunting season, and I plan on getting up early in the morning and torturing myself, but it's something I enjoy doing, so it's not actually torture. It's just I don't get enough sleep, and honestly ever. So, but there's also a good chance I end up getting carried away and working on some more stuff. But as it stands right now, I believe I'm going to call it a night. But this episode is not over. I am going to either continue expanding or detail these buildings or both. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more in an episode than I have in the past few. I've been working on just singular buildings, and I know the cinematics haven't been there. I haven't had any building montages, but that is just because I'm waiting on Replay Mod to update, and that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. So, yeah, I'll check in as soon as I continue working on this thing. Well, everybody, we have done a lot of work since the last clip you just saw, and I have a lot of things I want to show you, and I'm pretty proud of them. Obviously, nothing too crazy, but it's really starting to come together. So why don't we exit the jail here? Wanted to be in here just because, so we can walk out and see the grand reveal of the new general store. And look at what we have here. I'm really loving how it's looking. I put up the banner. Decided not to order it like the one on the jail, which was kind of a different look. I kind of like it, to be quite honest, just the simplicity behind it. But come on in, and I did do the interiors, and we've got some books, a nice little painting there, some different materials you can buy. Need to add a couple more, and then you can get some leather on over here as well. But yeah, like I said, nothing too crazy whatsoever. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think should be added and what other items should be sold here in the general store. I've made too many trips back to the base, so didn't want to keep going back and forth, just trying to get a couple of items here. But with that being said, let's come along down our newest path to the fishing hut and dock. So here we have the hut, and then I did extend this little dock down over that way. It's going to extend a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it. If I want different stores kind of just on the water, or little shops kind of just pillared up in front of the water with connectors over there, or if I want them on the sand, I'm just not sure yet. But let's go check out the inside. It's very small, so there's not a lot to it, but come on in, and we've got some fishing rod storage, nothing crazy, and just some fish barrels. And you come out, and we have this little area. I'm not sure if I want to put a dock off the back for the actual fishing to be done, or if I want to utilize these areas over here just for people to set up and fish. But I will show you kind of what it looks like from the water's perspective. I need to put some fence gates or whatnot between each of the pillars, but I do like the look from back here. It's really starting to take shape in quite a way that I wasn't even expecting, and I like the acacia logs in this build. I feel like they really give it the weathered look that hasn't been shown anywhere else, and I may incorporate it in a few additional builds here soon. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like here. So to cap off the episode, I do want to go around from the beginning and take a walk through the entire town, just because it's starting to take shape, and it looks quite a bit different than it did at the beginning of the episode. So you walk in, and now we've got not just the main street, but we've got some side streets going, and we're branching off into directions that haven't been taken, and honestly, directions I did not plan on taking. I was honestly planning on it just being one street with buildings lining each one, going pretty far this way. So come on in. We've got the saloon you guys know and love right here. Man, I love this build. This is probably my favorite build that I've got in the world. But yeah, really like this place. Come out the saloon, and you did a little bit too much drinking and you got thrown in the slammer, so you're heading over here to the jail and get tossed in one of these cells here. So yeah, it's really starting to take shape, and don't you worry, Johnny B. No Good is on my list of priorities. Then we have the town hall here, which was the first building here in the town, and I really like it. It's quite a bit brighter than the rest, and I mean, I guess minus that one, but using the brighter trim was something that I did on the first build, and I honestly don't love doing as much, but I do like it. It has a different little look, and it is a mess. This is where I've been using it as base camp, so all my shulker boxes are in here, but you guys know the drill there. And then the two newest builds, obviously we have the general store, and I'm gonna sell all items for $1 each. I don't really plan on getting much sales out of this place, but it's more just for the looks. And then over to the fishing hut and dock. So very, very happy with how everything is turning out, and that's where I'm gonna end this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Got a little bit more done in this one than many of the more recent ones, so let me know if you like the videos here where I don't do just one build, but I have a couple of different things that I do, maybe one build and then some, you know, area enhancements or whatnot. My biggest thing is just running out of time to do these things, so I will try to put a little more action into each video going forward, but just know I cannot promise anything. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.